Amazing good news.
Jocelyn finally returned, and brought back a large pot of meat dishes, which made Gina's mouth greasy and her taste buds fresh and delicious. Gina heard that her husband was coming home today, and was so happy that she got up early and styled herself beautifully. She tied 2 braids with green rubber bands, which made her look very coy and charming. Gina kept sending messages to confirm Jocelyn's itinerary, when she learned that her husband wouldn't be back until the afternoon. And while her son was still sleeping, she quickly gathered all the dirty clothes
From the house.
and took them out to wash. She searched through a variety of things, at least 20 or 30 pieces. However, these clothes were mostly Jocelyn's. Little Jocelyn always had some fun,
Rolling around in the mud all day long.
and sometimes even pulled his pants down. He changed his clothes at least 3 times a day. If Gina washed them every day, she wouldn't be able to keep up. Fortunately, nowadays the water source is very close to the shelter. All she needed to do was squat at the gate and enjoy the free mountain spring. To soak the clothes, Gina began to wash them one by one in a plastic basin. The sewage was squeezed out from the dirty clothes. Today the sun was bright.
The sky was blue.
Several white clouds floated on the mountain peak. The gentle breeze blew.
Cousin à gentle feeling.
Gina cleaned the clothes very carefully, to ensure no dust was attached. Finally, she took great interest in giving her feet a bath. Gina usually likes to go barefoot or wear sandals. The crevices of her toes were full of dirt, so she needed regular maintenance. In no time, she scrubbed her feet white and tender, and looked exceptionally fresh. The washed clothes also needed to be dried on the fence. A wooden stick hung one piece of clothing,
Leaving enough space between the damp cloth
for them to contact the sunlight and air. Just wait for an afternoon, and they could be air-dried and taken off. Gina just finished washing the clothes,
and little Jocelyn rolled all over again.
making his pants dirty too. However, accustomed to big scenes, Gina remained calm, enjoying the cookies, comforting her son, and coaxing him to sit and enjoy the small cookies. The chickens in the house were very naughty. Every day either tore off the roof tiles, or crawled into the bed. The bamboo mat in the house became their dancing ground. Gina couldn't stand it anymore. She swept down with a broom, and beat him like a defeated army. During this period, Jocelyn, apart from taking care of his elderly parents at the foot of the mountain, also occasionally attended various grand banquets, either eating delicious food or drinking spicy drinks. He also gained a lot of weight, thinking about his wife and child who hadn't eaten for a long time. He specially took time to return to the shelter, left a bag of grapes and meat dishes for Gina and her son, and hurriedly left. Gina was overjoyed.
The transluce grape
Looked like they were dripping with green color. Gina couldn't resist taking a small taste, and then moved on to another stewed meat dish. These were all packed by Jocelyn from the banquets. Although the portion was not much, it was still enough for Gina and little Jocelyn to have a full meal. To make it easier to heat, Gina chopped them up, while the oil in the pot was heating. She also took out an onion from the corner. It was one of her favorite side dishes, because it had a sweet flavor, and was cheap. Even the most insignificant dish, with just a little bit of it, could be delicious enough to lick the plate. Chopped them up, and then sprinkled some spices into the pot, followed by pouring the chopped meat.
au latons into the pot.
Stir-frying until it gave off a fragrant smell, then sprinkling a little curry powder and salt, and pouring in an appropriate amount of mineral water. Waiting patiently for 7 or 8 minutes. Smelling the fragrance. Little Jocelyn was already hungry. His stomach was rumbling. Gina was tidying up the spice box and tableware, while patiently comforting her son. Just in the course of a playful exchange, the meal was finally ready to be served. Gina couldn't wait to ladle a full spoonful of rice into the plate. Then she covered it with the golden-colored stewed meat, and the meal could begin. Gina carefully removed all the bones from her son's plate. If one accidentally got stuck in the throat, it would be a disaster. After eliminating all the worries, Gina started gobbling up the food. The fragrant lean meat paired with the sweet rice
Made one take big bit can't stop eating.
because the cooking was just right. The bones were all tender and soft. Gina tasted them one by one.
Sucking the essence from the bonne crevice.
It was so delicious that her tongue trembled.